All right, we are back for what we at? Where are we at? Round 3 of College Rodeo 101. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Heidi Foy, and I am the creator of opportunities at Bullfrog Creatives. Just a little bit of background. I don't want to do this every time, but I know we've still got a lot of new people tuning in. I live in Casper, Wyoming, which we all know of as the home of the CNFR. I've been a part of the CNFR as a contestant, as a volunteer, as a voluntold, whatever, for 20 years. It feels like it's not been 20 years because I remember things like they were yesterday, but ever since it came to Casper, my family and I have both been involved. And it especially rang true to me when I was a contestant. And so I kind of understand some of the struggles that students go through, some of the struggles that coaches go through. And that was our goal behind putting this College Rodeo 101 together, is to kind of make some connections where the opportunities are not there right now, given the current situation. So today I have the rodeo coach for the College of Southern Idaho with me, Mr. Steve Burney. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
You bet. Glad to be here.
Heck yeah.
Virtually, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a different platform than what we're used to, for sure. So I want to start just to have you kind of give me a background. Where are you guys located? Tell me just a little bit about the school, and then maybe a little bit about the community as well.
Okay. The College of Southern Idaho is in Twin Falls, Idaho, pretty much halfway between Boise and Pocatello, right on the Snake River in south central Idaho. High desert, Great Basin type climate. We have about 2,000 full-time traditional type students on campus, about another 5,000 that are, weekend classes or online classes, a lot of high school dual credit type students. The community is really growing, and it has grown a lot in the last probably 10 years. A lot of people are moving to Idaho, Boise area mostly, but we're getting a lot of new people coming into Twin Falls area. The biggest thing in the community, farming, the dairy industry, everything kind of revolves around that, and then all the ancillary businesses that start up, service type jobs. So it's really kind of grown a lot in the last 10 years, and it's probably, that's kind of the trend. I grew up about 40 minutes from here in a little town. When we came to Twin, it was a big deal. Now it's not a big deal. It's just everyday thing. But the community is great. A lot of support. Most of our revenue and how we operate, comes from community support, people buying tickets and sponsors. And if we need something, if we can trade for it, we'll do that. But we have a lot of support from the community, and really helps us do what we do and have the program that we do. I can't hear you, Heidi.
There we go. Sorry, technology. Yeah. I think that's awesome to hear that you have that strong support for your community, especially in a small community. I think we feel the same thing here in Casper. That having the support of the community really can be the difference between a successful program and a program.
Oh, for sure. And we couldn't do it without, obviously our administration is behind us 100%. The community, when we have our events, people want to come see what the kids are doing, and our rodeos and our big boxing smoker we have in January, which is a big fundraiser for us. Without those big events and people coming to watch our kids perform, we're not practicing, or we're not traveling the way we like to, or don't have the scholarships that we like to give those kids. And it's all because of the community is behind us. And just like any rodeo, the CNFR is a prime example. Casper and Natrona County and the state of Wyoming just gets behind the CNFR, and it's the best of the best.
Yeah, for sure. So Steve, talk to me a little bit about campus life. I know every school kind of has a little bit different culture, but can you talk a little bit about yours?
We have an awesome campus. The guys, the grounds crew does an amazing job. A lot of grass. I always tell them that we could help them take care of that grass a little bit if
Yeah.
they let us put up some hot wire here and there, and we'd move them every day. But
Yeah.
they don't think that's a very good idea. But
I think it sounds great.
yeah, a pretty diversified campus. We've got students from about 25 different countries. A lot of clubs, a lot of activities, intramurals, some great other athletic teams. Probably I like to brag about the volleyball team. They've won 11 national championships, but all the sports are great. There's lots to do on campus. They'll have free movie nights and bowling nights and all sorts of things for kids to get involved in. And I encourage our rodeo kids to do some of that and kind of get out of the little bubble that we kind of have here at the Expo Center. It seems like our kids are either in school or they're over here practicing or setting up or tearing down or doing something. So we keep them pretty busy, but there's a lot of other things besides just going to school that kids can get involved in.
Yeah, for sure. So before we talk about that wall behind you, just a couple more things kind of about the school in general. What about like if I'm an incoming freshman, what are my housing choices? I mean, do you guys have on-campus housing, dorms? Is there off-campus allowed? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we have a residence hall, typical college dorm. And it has about 250 rooms. Then the college also owns a couple other off-campus apartments, Eagle View, which are about 3 or 4 years old, which are very modern, very nice. The Northview apartments, which have been around for a long time, but were remodeled a couple years ago. And we have students that live in the dorms in Eagle View and Northview apartments, off-campus apartments, houses, and we don't require, like a lot of teams do, that our freshmen stay in the dorms or on campus. We kind of will help them find a place if they need it, or kind of match them up with other team members, but we don't require them to stay on campus. But there's a lot of options, whether it's campus or college owned or not, within walking distance of the school. So it's very convenient, very handy.
Great, that sounds good. So if there's one thing that I took away from my college experience, I did everything I could to not have to live in the dorms. And just the idea of sharing a space with a stranger, that was super outside my comfort zone. But I would encourage any incoming freshmen to reconsider if they don't want to do that, because I felt like I missed out on a lot of the on-campus activities because I didn't live in the dorms. So definitely one of my regrets. Right. And I went to a school that it was required, and I kind of I finagled my way around that one.
And there's definitely some positives to living in the dorms. You get to meet people that you normally, that aren't in your circle, that you normally wouldn't hang out with, and you become friends with them. And you get to, like you said, you get to see and meet people that are so much different than you are, and it's a great experience.
Yeah, I would agree. So, all right. Well, I think probably let's get to the meat and potatoes of our program. Talk to me. First of all, talk to me about this wall behind you.
This is kind of our wall of fame. I'm going to kind of move the camera a little bit, but this is just upstairs in the Expo Center. It's our indoor arena where we practice and have our meetings. Our offices are here. But we've got our collegiate national champions are kind of behind me on the wall. We kind of have big cutouts of them. And then you can see kind of all the plaques going down the wall, regional championships, national championships. Way down on the other end of the mezzanine, kind of the balcony, we've got big cutouts of our Cowboys that have been to the national finals or the Canadian finals. So our most recent one, Mitch Pollock, who went to the NFR and the bronc riding this last year, he's already been here picking out his spot on the wall. So, all right, well, get me a good picture that you want. So it's kind of our bragging wall, I guess. And And then I don't know if out in the arena, I'll just kind of walk.
Oh, wow.
We've got some big billboards um, that it's pretty hard to see, but they're big, probably 20 feet long by 15 feet tall, and they've got the names of all the national champions, the guys that have been to the NFR, world champions, and the PRCA. So it's we kind of like to brag on the kids that have been here and done some amazing things in the arena, and we do have, you know, a lot of kids that just like any sport are out there, you know, being great community members, doctors and vets and businessmen. A lot of our women that come through the program end up in the you know, nursing field. We got a great nursing program, health science related stuff. But we've got, you know, alumni that are in every walk of life, and it's great to see they're not just all ranchers and farmers and cowboys. They are that, but they are also more than that. So
That's awesome. So that kind of answers my next question too about, you know, if you guys have your own facility, is this a dedicated facility for college rodeo, or is it kind of a shared expo center?
Well, it is an expo center. The good thing is I'm the manager of it, so I can kind of control the schedule. But we practice in here. We'll have the arena set up from the time school starts in August through about the middle of October. And then it goes out. We've got some outside events through the winter, and then we'll put it back in February, and it'll stay in through May. This year it's staying in because everything's been canceled. So normally we'll take it out the first part of May, right about when school is over. But this year there's, you know, our few events that we had scheduled this spring are not happening, so we're leaving it in, and everything's portable. Yeah, and we have RV shows, car shows, home and garden shows, you name it. We have it in here. Our boxing smokers in here, our college rodeos in here. We also have an outdoor arena that we use. We've got a horse barn and shed rows for the kids' horses right outside. So everything's really convenient. It's on campus. Kids will come in the morning, feed, go to class, come back, you know, if they have an hour or two between classes, and rope a dummy or get on the bucking machine or clean their stalls. So it's for them, it's a great thing.
Yeah, definitely. So if I heard this right, the kids can board their horses right there at the facility, right where you practice?
Yep, it's just right outside the expo center.
And then how far from campus, or like if I'm living in the dorms, how far from dorms or campus is the facility?
You can walk it in like 2 minutes.
Okay, so everything's real close. Yeah, that's nice.
It's a great thing, but we're kind of hemmed in too,
right,
with the community kind of around us. But we, you know, it's so great and so convenient for the kids. You know, they can come and practice. They don't have to trailer anywhere to put their horses up. You know, go take care of them, go home, do their homework, hopefully, and and it's all right there. So, and we'll have a lot of kids that'll come and ride during the day, or you know, if they want to run some calves or get some steers in. You know, I'm here probably more than I'm at home. So it's like my second home.
Yeah. So
which is great. I mean, I can bring my horse and rope with the kids and ride, and you know, it's a pretty great job.
Yeah. Sign me up. Except for not here. Hey, so I guess you kind of touched on, based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like y'all have your own stock too, rough stock and timed event. We
do. We lease all the cattle from a guy about 5-10 miles away, and we can swap them in and out. When I first came to CSI, we had about 40 head of horses, and we kind of gone through those and whittle that down. It didn't make much sense for us to keep them and feed them all year. So we hire and we lease some horses and bulls, and which is a good thing. We use them and then send them home, get a new batch in, and it works out pretty well for us. So.
Yeah, it sounds really good. So one thing that I kind of skipped over and you touched on a little bit, you mentioned the nursing program. What other programs do you guys, I mean, not just off the top of your head, what other programs do you all have?
Well, we have about 80 different academic programs and technical. We'll have a lot of our guys go through, not a lot, but some of the kids go through the welding program, diesel. There's business, drafting, engineering. We've got a student right now going through the engineering program, and then after this next year, he'll transfer probably to Utah State. I mean, you name it, we probably have a degree in it. Our ag department is really good, animal science. We have a great equine program. But we'll have kids in every different kind of program you can think of. We've had kids go through that, and a lot of kids will, they might just get a liberal arts degree, 2-year associate's degree, and then transfer to a university, declare a major when they get there. We've got a lot of great programs, a lot of great professors. And another great thing I think is I'm also an academic advisor for all the kids on the team. So, I can help advise them and make sure they're taking the right classes and staying on track for graduation. And, it is important that our kids, whether they're going to go on to a university or go back to the ranch or go to work, we want them to obviously get a degree by the time they're done here at CSI. And, some are going to try to make a living in the rodeo arena, but most of them know that that's maybe not going to be a reality for, the long term. So they're going to get a degree and have something that they can have a trade or something
Fall
they
back
can
on.
fall back on.
Yeah. So I guess, this year is a little bit unique. Well, I'm not going to lie. It's a lot bit unique in that there potentially, and I don't know if this is true or not, but this has been a question. Are seniors that would be graduating in May, will they come back and use that other year of eligibility? And if so, does that limit you on the number of scholarships you may have for incoming freshmen?
Some kids are going to come back. A lot of them are not. I mean,
just moving on.
They're done. They're ready to move on, ready to get their life going, which is great. I've had a couple of my students that qualified to go to the CNFR, and we're going to be done with college and move on with their lives. And they've said, I'd really like to come back and maybe get another degree, and have a chance to go back to Casper and the CNFR. It's just kind of an individual decision, obviously from their part, from my part. A kid that's a good kid and obviously talented in the arena, it's pretty easy to keep them on. For us, the only I guess hindrance of having some of those kids stick around is, we have to come up with a little bit more money to help do that. But it's not going to limit me on taking incoming freshmen.
Great. So it looks like we do have a question from, I'm probably not going to say this name right, Elena Albright Copeland. And it appears that she may have tagged her child as well, which I get that. Are you paying attention? Do you have scholarship opportunities?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Usually, kind of our process, we'll meet with seniors in the fall and all winter. Their senior year, we've got a scholarship application. They fill that out, send it in. They have to come to campus for a visit and an interview. And then we decide the kids that we really know we want and they want to be here, we'll sign them on March 1st, the first day that we can. And then we just kind of go through and fill our spots as we need to through the spring. There are a lot of kids out there that every coach in the country wants to get. And it's, there's a lot of great schools, a lot of great programs, and for all the kids, they need to shop around and find the program and the school that's going to suit them the best.
So Miss Elena asks also, sounds like they may be coming from our neighbors to the north. Do you have those same scholarship opportunities for students coming down from Canada?
We do. We do. We've had quite a few Canadians this fall. We'll have two kids coming down, one from Alberta and one from Saskatchewan, bull rider, and then a timed event kid. We've had kids from all across the country, Hawaii, several kids from Hawaii, Florida. This year we have a girl from Amarillo, Texas. For us, it doesn't matter where they come from. If we're going to give them a scholarship, it's going to take care of all their tuition, out-of-state fees. So
great. That sounds really good. I'd like to just to kind of give some more opportunity for questions to come up on the Facebook feed. Is there anything else you would like to add about the program, or I don't know, anything?
Like I kind of mentioned on when kids need to be proactive. From a coach's standpoint, we're all going to know the number one kids out there that everybody wants. But there's a lot of kids that, might have a bad rodeo at the national finals or at the state finals and maybe not get the recognition that they maybe need. There's a ton of those kind of kids out there, and we may never hear about them. So they kind of have to recruit themselves a little bit, do some research, do some homework, find out the schools you're interested in, the type of academic programs they have, and then find out about the rodeo program. Do they have their own facility? Is it part of the athletic department or a club sport? What kind of, how do they travel? How do they practice? There's just a lot of questions that the kids and especially the parents want to know. Are there scholarships available? What do the scholarships cover? All of those things are important to ask. And like I said, kids kind of have to recruit themselves a little bit. Reach out. One of the girls that we had from Hawaii a couple years ago, she sent out emails to several different coaches in the States, on the mainland, I guess. And I was the only one that responded to her, talked to her. She came for a visit, was awesome, gave her scholarship. She ended up being our regional student director, and then the national student director. She was great, and without her reaching out, never would have met her, never would have known anything about her, and was a great asset to our program.
So you mentioned something that I don't think that an incoming freshman for sure may not understand. What is the difference between a rodeo program that's a part of the athletic department versus it's a club sport?
An athletic, a rodeo team that's part of the athletic department generally has better funding. They get funded just like maybe the baseball team or basketball team, maybe not to the same level, but they've got some financial support up front. A club sport on campus generally is funded by the student activities part of campus. More of probably not going to have the funds available for travel or scholarships that an athletic team is going to have, or maybe not to that level.
Yeah. So I would add, I believe, I went to Northwest College here in Powell, Wyoming for 2 years, and I believe that we were a part of the athletic department. However, I transferred to the University of Montana in Missoula, and we were a club sport. And we as students raised a lot of our own travel money and that kind of stuff. So I do, I understand a little bit of it, but kind of wanted a little more clarification for everybody that's watching.
Right. And it's just totally up to the school how they're supporting that team, whether it's a club or an athletic team. One thing about college rodeo across the board. The only thing that it has in common from one school to the other is that it's different.
Yeah.
Every school is different. We're lucky here. We're part of the athletic department. We've got a great facility on campus. We've got 2 full-time paid coaches. I've got a office assistant, an expo guy. We have a lot of support that some of the other schools don't have. And not to say that we're better than them, but we just have some more resources up front. Where I went to college, it was a club sport, and like we were out hustling. If we wanted to practice, we had to go find hay and cattle and the places. And
yeah, I would also add, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having to work for it.
Oh, heck no.
There are some other benefits if you have a little bit more college support. So, I think both are great programs. I wouldn't say one is better than the other either.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. One thing with a club sport, the coach is maybe a volunteer, or he or she is getting a stipend. Athletic departments, generally, if it's that coach is being paid as a full-time employee. I started off in Elko, Nevada as kind of a volunteer coach with Great Basin College. And I did it because I loved to help kids, and it kind of just developed. And then after a couple of years, they gave me a little stipend to help, take the kids down the road. And then I moved back up to Idaho, and just kind of good timing, right place at the right time. And was fortunate enough that Sean Davis hired me to help him out. And then when he retired, I was, right here to kind of take over the reins. And it's just, every program's different. Like I said, every situation's different. There's so many opportunities out there for kids that want to rodeo. You've got to have choices. That's why it's so important for those kids to get out there and see the different schools and see the different programs and find the one that fits them best. If their number 1 choice isn't available for whatever reason, have a number 2 choice, have a number 3 choice.
And I would say too, for the parents and any student athletes that are watching too, that I don't feel like it's too late for next year.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. There are so many opportunities out there, scholarship, partial scholarships. They just got to get out there and hustle a little bit, and there's lots of opportunities. As time goes on, those opportunities might be diminishing a little bit. And the one thing with pretty much all the club sports on campus, if you go to that school and you want a rodeo and it's a club sport, you're going to be able to do that. If it's an athletic department sponsored team, then those opportunities, they may not let everybody just walk on. They might restrict the numbers a little bit, but if there's, and like any sport, if you want to go to college and play a sport, whether it's rodeo or football, basketball, baseball, whatever, there's a place out there for you. You just have to get out there and hustle a little bit and find it.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we're right at about 30 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, sure
I would highly suggest, if you are interested in getting more information about the College of Southern Idaho, to reach out to Steve. You can message me and I can get you in touch, or you can just reach out and shoot him a message on this in the comments of this video. If you are watching live, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to remind everybody that we are doing these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So let me look at my little schedule here. We do have coaches scheduled for the next couple of weeks. I think we're getting some really good interest. So Casper College Rodeo coach, Mr. Jet Johnson, will be joining us on Monday. CJ Aragon on Wednesday, and then rival Montana State University coach Andy Bullich will join us next Friday. So we will come at you the following week with another set of coaches, and we'll just keep growing from here. If you know somebody that you think should be watching or that you think should be on our little broadcast, please reach out to me and I will reach out to them, or however you want to do it, tag them and tell them this guy needs to be on, guy or gal. And again, I wanted to say special thanks to Steve Burney for coming on. I appreciate your time and your efforts. I know that sure going to miss seeing you guys in Casper this year. It's going to be, it's totally messed up my June schedule. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm gonna have a week that I have never had before. I'm probably just gonna go sit at the event center. So I want to thank you guys again. If you're not watching live and you're watching the recorded version, please feel free to comment, and we will comment your questions, and I'll check back and answer any questions you have. And if there's someone in particular, a college that you're looking at that you want information on, please reach out to me and I will do my best to get them on this broadcast. So Steve, if you don't have anything else to add, or if you do.
Okay. Hey, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Everybody can also go to collegerodeo.com to see all the colleges across the country that have a rodeo program. And, if you're going to a college that doesn't have a program, get one going, get it started.
There you go.
College
Starts with somebody. Yep,
right.
It's always got to start with one person. So great words of encouragement. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you on Monday. Have a good weekend.